Okay, we're back. Today's date, January 20th, 2025. It is Inauguration Day, and it is also Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So, celebrating two events, 2 days in one here today. Two big days for people who celebrate for different reasons. Okay. So, it's good to have you aboard here. And we made it to Inauguration Day. So, I started this journey back about 2 weeks after the election. As a history person, I wanted to, document whoever won. If it was Kamala, I would have done the same thing here if Kamala had won. And it is historic because Trump, you know, his second term where he builds his legacy. I want to see what his legacy is here. And it's non-consecutively done, which is only the second time in history. So for that reason right there, it's historic that he comes in with Biden in between his first and his second term. So I'm going to be doing this podcast from a neutral point of view. Will I make some predictions? Possibly. But for those newcomers to the podcast, to the YouTube channel, welcome aboard. I do go out in public and I do create some content out on the streets. I like to interview people and have some guests on, so we'll continue to do that moving forward. As for today's podcast, let's take a look at the executive orders. Today is Inauguration Day, and Trump, the people that run the show, run the inauguration, I guess the committee, they moved it inside due to the cold weather. Now, when I saw that, I thought it was a weak move. Not gonna lie, from a guy who was almost assassinated to move it inside due to cold temperatures. Said it was going to be 7 or 9 degrees. It was actually like 23. It's not the coldest, but whatever. But I'm a little hypocritical because I was going to go down to Washington and do a couple of videos out on the street, and I didn't go because of the weather. So I'm actually not going to hold Trump to a higher standard with the weather. It is freaking cold out. So anyway, the 50-degree days of January's in the past. Of the past. Wish we could have one this year, but it wasn't to be. Okay, so let's look at the executive orders. I like to look at the real stuff, what he's going to do, not the fluff. All right. I know with Trump, he says a lot of things. What will he do? Let's document this. So the first thing he's going to do is declare a national emergency at the border. Okay, so number one, the border's closed. Okay. So clearly that is going to be a huge initiative of his going forward into his first 100 days. And probably this could be his legacy. Okay. He's making it a big time, feature of all his speeches. That's what appeals to his crowd. So let's see how far this goes. Let's see if the mass deportations begin or when they begin and how big they are. Let's see. Okay, this is where the documentation comes in. Will he do a big, media first day, clean out some neighborhoods in Chicago and deport like 1,000 people? Or will he continually do this week after week, month after month? And will this be like something that has some teeth to it? We'll see. We're going to document that. But anyway, the border's closed, and I foresee the deportations coming in the near future. Number two, he's going to clarify the military's role in border security. Okay. 3, end catch and release. Continue building the wall and end remain in Mexico. Okay. So again, all related to migration and illegal immigration. Number 4, designate criminal cartels as terrorists. Okay. Makes sense. I heard a lot of things. What he's going to do is going to make sense. Some of these do make sense. I'm not going to lie. Okay. 5, suspend refugee resettlement. Okay. The officials said the U.S. would suspend refugee resettlement for at least 4 months. So that's temporary. That's not permanent. Okay. 6, he's going to end asylum and close the border to those without legal status via proclamation. Officials said that they are planning to end asylum entirely and close the border to those without legal status via proclamation, which creates an immediate removal process without possibility of asylum. Okay. So again, this is all geared towards the people coming in over the border. But as far as I can tell, it's not for people coming in with visas. Okay. Because that was a little bit of a controversy with the visas. And there was a little infighting about a week ago between Elon and how we need good workers coming in from other countries. But we'll see how that plays out too. Number 8, enhanced vetting and screening. The official said that they are going to enhance vetting and screening of illegal aliens. Okay. I don't know why we don't do that right now or have been doing that. 9, protect American citizens against invasion. Okay. This is a big one. Officials said this equips agents and officers of ICE and CBP with the authorities they need to deport people from the U.S. That's a big one right there. That's going to be the one where they go in. I read that they're allowed to go into schools, into sanctuary cities. Okay, so they're going to start in Chicago, from what I was reading on Huffington Post. That's going to be a big deal. Okay, that's going to be probably next week's podcast. All right, because he's going to have something in place and ready to go within the first week. And I believe that's going to start like tomorrow or Wednesday of this week. So, okay. 10, restore the death penalty. Okay. You know what? We've had the death penalty. We haven't had it. So, I don't know. Defining sex and ending DEI programs. That's going to be a big one as well. All right. So, 2 genders, male and female, and all this diversity, equity, and inclusion, which, a lot of the federal government, a lot of the agencies have received a lot of money over the last 4 years and going back to when Obama was president. So a second action will end diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in the federal government, the official said, giving examples of environmental justice programs in the U.S. Department of Agriculture, as well as diversity training. So, okay. And I guess that will be part of DOGE as well to save some money. National energy emergency. So we're going to see how this goes. All right. And the electric vehicle mandate. Trump intends to declare a national energy emergency on Monday. That's today. I'm recording this, by the way, on Inauguration Day at like 3:45 in the PM. All right. Aiming to cut red tape and regulations for the energy industry. And a second one specific to Alaskan resources. An incoming White House official told reporters on a background conference call that a national energy emergency will unlock a variety of different authorities that will enable our nation to quickly build again, to produce coal and natural resources, to create jobs, to create prosperity, and to strengthen our nation's national security. All right. So we'll see how that goes. The free market has determined that coal is something that, this is something we talk about, like the Industrial Revolution in the 1700s. So now I'm going a little off script here. Is coal really needed in the 21st century? Clean burning coal. He ran on this in his first term, 2016, and he went to Scranton, Pennsylvania, which was a coal capital of like the Northeast, and he didn't open any coal plants or coal mines back in his first term. As a matter of fact, more closed under it. So what will this do? We'll see. Okay. As we turn to the electric vehicle mandate, this will end efforts to curtail consumer choice on the things that consumers use every single day, whether it be shower heads, whether it be gas stoves, whether it be dishwashers, and the like. Okay. Trump has long railed against energy efficiency standards on the campaign trail and specifically taken aim at electric vehicle mandates. So, the rules that require 100% of vehicles to be electric do not exist on the federal level, but he's going to try to roll some of this back. So we'll see what happens. Another executive order will be aimed at inflation. So this is one that I think we could all get behind. All right. Trump will sign a presidential memorandum on inflation Monday. Now, let's see how long it takes for the memorandum to take effect here. All right. The official did not provide additional details, but we'll see what happens on that. And those are some of the highlights. There's going to be about 200 executive orders. All right. Those are the main ones, but a lot on immigration. And several on the economy, as we could see there. So we're going to see how this goes. All right. And we're going to follow up. All right. Trump today also gave his inauguration, or excuse me, during his inauguration, gave his address, his inaugural address. And he claimed that it's a day of liberation. So I guess whenever there's a Democrat, this is like, being held captivity under like, Nazi or Soviet soldiers during like some war. But all right, the ball's in his court, so that's some strong language. All right, and we'll see how this goes for the next 2 years. All right, he's saying a lot of the things that drum up his base. All right, and now he's going to be the one in charge. He can't. He's not a Monday morning quarterbacking here. This is him now in charge, so he's going to have to deliver. So one of the things I know about politics is it's easier to like sit out and criticize than to actually lead and make laws and make them work because people want stuff like that. That's me snapping my fingers. All right, so we'll see what happens. All right, and also he declared at the beginning of his inauguration address, he declared that this is going to be a new golden age. Okay, new golden age. So I guess that means we're all going to be prosperous under the next President Trump term here for the next 4 years. All right, again, it sounds good. A lot of his supporters, they all flew in for the parade, which is not going to happen now because of the weather. But these are the people that he is, he's talking to. All right, listen, we're all listening as Americans. We're all listening as somebody who's documenting. Those are some strong words he's using. All right, liberation, golden age. Now he has to live up to this. Now he has to actually govern, lead, get it done. Okay. To that point, though, I think he is going to be more successful in his second term. And the reason why, this is my prediction for this podcast. The world is moving further to the right. The world is. He has allies around the world. Okay. They're going to want to negotiate with him, they're going to want to deal with him. A lot of your southern states, a lot of your states are moving to the right. Okay. A lot of people in our government, he has control of both houses of Congress, even though the House is only by a couple of seats. So he is going to probably be, I mean, let's be real. He's going to be a little bit, he's going to have some wins, some victories, some successes in the first couple of months, first 100 days. Will he get Greenland? Will he get Canada? Will he get the Panama Canal? Those are some pretty big, some pretty big things that he has on his plate. That's what I want to see. Will the price of gas go down? Will inflation stay down? That's a pretty big one too. That's what got him elected. And I think that's the easiest thing that people in the public, his own supporters, as a matter of fact, that's what they're going to actually look for. And listen, he's in a honeymoon period. He's got 100 days. Steve Bannon has said this. Sean Hannity has said this. I listened to all of these different people during the course of my evening on my way home from work. All right. And I thought about that, like he does have a window of opportunity to get some stuff done here, and I try to read like some insightful, websites, newspaper articles, magazine articles from people who worked in his administration the first time. And the only thing that I can get is that he doesn't really have a defining philosophy as some of the people around him. He wants loyalty to him. And if you're a Republican and you cross him, you're out. Like McConnell, out. If you're a Democrat who can work with him, you might be in. So I think people understand how he operates as a person. And in his second term, you're going to see people, work with him to that level. Kiss the ring almost. All right. This is why ABC News negotiated This is why CBS News looks like they're going to negotiate. So, yeah, listen, he has 100 days, in my opinion, to get some stuff done here. And we are going to document that. We're going to be back next week on Sunday. This podcast drops on Sundays, although today is Monday, Inauguration Day. I wanted to save this one for today. And we're going to see how this goes here. So look for the executive actions today, and we'll see what happens on the immigration front. Mass deportations coming up this week. Also, let's see what he does on inflation and moving forward. And we'll be back here next week documenting 47. He's in office week 1. All right. And we'll catch you next week. Stay tuned. Comment below and comment on the Facebook page documenting 47. And, catch you later. Stay safe.